Anthony has 2 quarters, 3 dimes, 1 nickel, and 18 pennies. It isn't fair that my brother Nicholas has $1, 2 quarters, 5 dimes, 5 nickels, and 13 pennies. It isn't fair because all I've got is bus tokens. And most of the time, what I've mostly got is bus tokens. And even when I'm very rich, I know that pretty soon all I'll have is bus tokens. I know, because I used to be rich last Sunday. Last Sunday, Grandma Betty and Grandpa Louie came to visit from New Jersey. They brought lox, because my father likes to eat lox. And they brought plants, because my mother likes to grow plants. They brought $1 for me, $1 for Nick, and $1 for Anthony. Because, well, Mom says it's not very nice to say this, but he likes money a lot, especially me. My father told me to put the $1 away to pay for college. He was just kidding. Anthony told me to use the $1 and go downtown and buy a new face. Anthony stinks. Nick said to take the $1 and bury it in the garden, and in a week a Dollar Tree would grow. Ha, ha, ha. Mom said that if I really wanted to buy a walkie-talkie, to save my money. But saving money is hard. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I bet I could hold my breath till 300. Anthony won. I bet that I could jump from the top of the stoop and land on my feet. Nick won. Because last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I went to Pearson's drugstore and got bubble gum. And even after the gum stopped tasting good, I got even more gum. And even though I told my friend Dana I'd sell her all the gum in my mouth for a nickel, she still wouldn't buy it. Goodbye, 15 cents. I bet that I could hide this purple marble in my hand, and my mom would never guess which hand I was hiding it in. I didn't know moms made children pay. Goodbye, another 15 cents. Now, I absolutely was going to save my money, except Emma called me up, and she said she would rent me her skates for an hour. I always wanted to rent her skates for an hour, but that cost 12 cents. Goodbye, 12 cents. Anthony said when I'm 99, I still won't have enough money for a walkie-talkie. Nick said I was too dumb to be let loose. My father said that there are certain words a girl can never say, no matter how mean her brother is being. My father fined me 5 cents for saying each of them. Goodbye. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, by accident, I flushed 3 cents down the toilet, and a nickel fell through the crack when I was walking on my hands. I tried to get the nickel out with a butter knife, and also my mom's scissors. Goodbye, 8 cents. And a butter knife. And scissors. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I found this chocolate candy bar just sitting there. So I rescued it from being melted or smushed. Except the way that I rescued it from being melted or smushed was that I ate it. How was I supposed to know that it was Anthony's? Goodbye, 11 cents. Now I positively was saving the rest of my money. But then Nick did a magic trick that made my pennies vanish into thin air. He hasn't learned the trick of bringing them back yet. Goodbye, 4 cents. Anthony said that when I'm 99, I still won't have enough money for a walkie-talkie. Nick said that they should lock me in a cage. My father said that there are certain things a girl can never kick, no matter how mean her brother is. My father made me 5 cents for keeping it. Goodbye, nickel. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, Kathy, around the corner, she had a garage sale. But I positively went only to look. I looked at a half-melted candle. I needed that candle. I looked at a bear with one eye. I needed that bear too. I looked at a deck of cards, and it was perfect, Pearson's telephone booths for nickels and dimes that people sometimes forget. No one forgot. I brought some non-returnable bottles down to Friendly's Market. Friendly's Market wasn't very friendly. I told my grandma and grandpa, come back soon. Last Sunday, when I used to be rich, I used to have $1. I don't have $1 anymore. I've got this dopey deck of cards, this one-eyed teddy bear, and a half-melted candle, and some bust.
Mountain people can't read, can't write, don't wear shoes, don't have teeth, don't use soap, and don't talk plain. They beat their kids, beat their friends, beat their neighbors, and beat their dogs. They live on cowpeas, fat back, 20 acres, straight up and down. They don't have money, they do have fleas. Tobacco patches, shacks, shotguns, food stands, liquor stills, at least 6 junk cars in the front yard. Right? Well, let me tell you, I'm from here, and I'm not like that, and I'm tired of being told I am. Poet Jo Carson describes herself as an eavesdropper in life, in beauty parlors, grocery store lines, wherever life presents herself. And her collection of poems, stories they had told nobody yet, are the stories of the East Tennessee Appalachian. My next selection is the voice of an abused East Tennessee wife. I cannot remember all the times he hit me. I could count the black eyes, how many times I said I ran into doors, or fell down, or stepped into the path of any flying object except his fist. Once, I got a black eye playing softball. The rest were him. 7, 8, I can name what he broke of me. My ribs, my nose, and 4 arms. In the course of 6 years of marriage. The ribs were when I said divorce. And in spite of a peace bond, I spent the night in the hospital. He didn't even spend the night in jail. The sheriff I helped elect does not apply the law to family business. He always swore he never meant to do it. I do believe he never planned. It was always just the day, the way I looked at him and prayed. Maybe the first time he did not mean to do it. Maybe the broken ribs were for good luck. I want to post this in the ladies' room, write it on the tags of women's underwear, write it on coupons to go in Tampax packages, because my ex-husband will want to marry again. And there's no tattoo where he can't see it to tell the next woman who might fall in love with him. After 6 months, maybe a year, he'll stop with a simple slap you can brush off. Leave when he slaps you. When he begins to call you cunt and whore and threatens to kill you if you try to go, it'll almost be like teasing, but it is not. Keep 2 sets of car keys for yourself. Take your children with you when you go. If he's throwing things, if he's drinking, if he's drunk, he cannot catch you. A punch in the breast hurts worse than a punch in the jaw. A hit with an object does more damage than a hit with a fist. Unless he is so drunk, he picks up the broom instead of the poker. If you pick up the poker, he will try to get it. If he gets it, he will hit you with it. He probably will not kill you because you will pass out. And then he's all of a sudden sorry. And he stops. When he says he will not hit you again as he drives you to the hospital, both of you in tears and you in pain, you have stayed much too long already. Tell the people at the hospital the truth. No matter how much you think you love him, don't tell them you fell down the stairs. No matter how much he swears he loves you, he does love you. He loves to hurt you, and he will hit you again. After an abused wife leaves her life of abusement, she often turns to family members for help. Such is the case in my next selection. My daughter got divorced, and she and her little boy have moved back in with me for the time being. And everything she goes to do, she's got a book. Want to cook something? She looks up in the book to see what she wants, and then we ain't got it, so she's got to run out to the grocery store. I'll just be gone a minute, Mama. You keep check. Now we got hamburger meat and beans and all the rest of the stuff you put up from my garden. And there's been many a soul to make it through this village without ever tasting real zucchini. I, myself, could have done without it. And then she made herself a dress. First got a book written about it. I told her, I know that, Mama. There wasn't a book written about my marriage. I might not be here if there had been. Now, what am I supposed to say to that?
As I thumbed through the stacks of neatly piled photographs, I came to a startling conclusion. Here before me was what seemed to be the proof I needed to defend my claims that parents always love their firstborn more. Baby photos of my eldest sister were plentiful, vastly outnumbering the other two stacks. Arranged in the middle was a slightly smaller pile of photos of my parents' second daughter. The stack on the end, the smallest, belonged to me, the baby of the family. Was this array of photographs enough evidence to support my claim that because I was youngest, I was deprived of attention and love? Well, the truthful answer is no. Though just because my parents had more time to spend capturing the moment with their first child, it's not proof that the next two were any less loved. It does prove the fact that the birth order of children, especially those in a 3-child family, does have an effect on the child's life. Pioneers in the study of birth order, such as Alfred Adler, will say the order of one's birth can affect social relationships, primarily those between siblings and parents, and influence the growth as well as the personality of the child. While others will argue that it's the size of the family the child belongs to, and not the placement in it, that has the greatest effect on the child's life. Either way you want to look at the topic of birth order, faith or myth, it still seems to be coming up more and more as the answer for one's behaviors. This fact got me asking myself some questions, such as, are firstborns really predestined to be overachievers? Does a middle child really have to live life suffering from the middle child syndrome? And as for the baby of the family, are they born with the acceptance that they will receive whatever they desire? Today, I will present some of the ways birth order can affect the personalities of the oldest, middle, and youngest child. The first position of birth order is the oldest child. Plenty of attention is given to the firstborn. New parents spend much of their time snapping photos and recording detailed events to the baby book. It's no wonder that the oldest child learns early off that in order to keep their parents' attention, they must continue to achieve. It's likely this drive to succeed that causes many firstborns to become perfectionist and critical. According to Lynn Lott and Ricky Etler, authors of the book Chores Without Wars, the oldest child wants to be first and best at everything. They're often a high achiever and are very responsible. Many teachers enjoy firstborn students due to their traits of hard work and good organization. Lott and Etler also believe that being first can cause the child the need to feel right and perfect. However, when this is not the case, they usually will give up. Socially, firstborns tend to be least popular. Holders of this position have been found to be most moody, stubborn, tough-minded, and best at finding flaws. It has been proven, though, firstborns tend to protect their younger siblings. They're assertive, task-oriented, and often leaders. Dr. Kevin Lehman, author of the Birth Order book, claims that leaders of business and government are often oldest children. And this claim is not surprising, knowing many eldest children feel the demand to be and remain on top. Life for the oldest child is brought to a halt as the arrival of child number 2 is announced. Many disagree on the effects of being second-born. Some claim they're great negotiators, and they learn to maneuver between their older and younger siblings, while others argue they feel left out, inferior to their older siblings' accomplishments. It's likely this feeling of being inferior that causes the second child to be more willing to break the rules. The middle child tends to rebel in order to find their own place. The second-born is much more popular and often has many friends. They demand less attention and grow up more relaxed. Frank J. Soloway, researcher on birth order and author of the book Born to Rebel, Birth Order, Family Dynamics, and Creative Lives, quotes that siblings create differing roles for themselves within the family system. With this having been